This is the Math 8 Multiple Representations Review for Monday, March 29th, 2021. Don't forget to sign up for your teacher's office hours or Rater Prep if you need additional support. You're also going to notice that off to the side I do have Desmos open, so as you are completing the activity, I would encourage you to also have Desmos open to help you with some of these questions. Number 1. Identify the graph that represents this table of values. A table is a nice organizational tool that houses X's and Y's in this particular example. And it does say to graph, and we know that when we graph, we have the coordinate points X, Y. All right, so we know that if we were to take these points in this table, we could create a coordinate point. So let's take a look at the first one. We know, or we see that when X equals 1, our Y equals -1. So let's go ahead and graph that. So as a quick little review, we know that we have to start with our X value, and our X value is the horizontal axis on our coordinate plane. And then we go to our Y value, which is the vertical line in our coordinate plane. So because this first one is a +1, I need to start at the origin and go to the right one. We're going to start over here with A. And then because that's a -1, that tells us that we do go down 1. So if I were to plot that, I notice that that red point does land on this particular coordinate plane. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do all of them. I'm going to go to B. I'm going to start at the origin. I move to the right one, down 1. And you're going to notice that that does not land on our line, so we can automatically eliminate answer choice B. For C, start at the origin, go to the right one, down 1. You're again going to notice that that does not land on the line, so I can automatically eliminate answer choice C. And for D, start at the origin, go to the right one, down 1, and that does work. All right, let's go to the next point. So the next point says that when our X is -1, our Y is 2. So for A, we're going to start at the origin. Because that X is -1, we need to move to the left one. That Y is positive, so it means we go up 2. You're going to notice that that does not land on the line, so we can automatically eliminate answer choice A. Now, by process of elimination, we do know that our answer is D, but let's just quickly review the rest of this. So let's finish up with -1, 2. Start at the origin, left 1, up 2. That does work. The next coordinate point is -3, 5. So I start at the origin, 1, 2, 3. I go to the left 3 because that's negative. I go up 5, and we can confirm that the answer is answer choice D. Number 2. Which table contains only points that land on the line represented by the equation y equals 1/4 x plus 4? All right, I'm going to go ahead and use Desmos here. So what I'm going to do in line 1 is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug the function in that they give us, 1/4 x plus 4. Now, every time I plug in an x value, the answer in that line where this little error symbol is has to equal what the y says. So I want to tell Desmos, hey, I want you to equal 4. In order for this to even be considered an answer choice, we know that when I plug 4 in, this should be 5, which in fact it is. So I'm going to go just check the next one. So I know when I plug in 8 here, this should be 6. And in fact it is, but I'm going to question mark that. But what I'm going to quickly do is, because this is a Desmos question, I'm going to quickly just go verify and check that the other ones are not the answer. So for answer choice B, I know that when I plug in 0, my answer should be -2, which if I look up here, it is not. It is 4, so I can automatically cross off B. For C, when I plug in -4, I should get -1. I do not. I get the number 3. so I can eliminate C. And I know that when I plug in 6 for answer choice D, I should get 8. And I do not, I get 5.5. So I know by process of elimination, the answer choice A is in fact my answer. Number 3, which graph represents the equation y equals 2/3 x plus 2? All right, so you guys know, let's just, if we do a quick review of y equals mx plus b, that your teachers always taught you that you have to start with the b, which is the y-intercept. I have no idea where all those black lines are coming from, but that means that it lands on the y-axis. So if I'm taking a look at what I have replacing my y-intercept or my letter b, it's positive 2. So that means that if I start at the origin, I have to go up 2, because remember, if it's the y-axis is your vertical axis here. So that works in A, origin 1, 2, that works. C, I start at the origin, I go up 2. So it actually looks like all of these work here. All right, so the next thing I want to take a look at is my M, which is my slope. All right, and the one thing that we talked about was the difference between positive slopes and negative slopes. So I'm looking here and I'm like, ooh, that's a positive 2/3. So that means I have a positive slope. All right, so if I take a look at A, that actually is going down. So that's a negative slope. B is also a negative slope. So I can eliminate B. C is positive and D is positive. So just by knowing the different types of slopes, I've already reduced myself to a 50-50 shot, which is awesome here. Because now what we need to do is we actually need to know, well, how do we use slope here? And this is where your teachers taught you the rise over the run. So rise, it looks like the 2, so that means we go up 2. The 3 is in the run, which means we go to the right. So if I start here at C, okay, I'm going to go up 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to go to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. And you're going to notice that that point does land on that line. If I try D, I go up 2, 1, 2, 3. You're going to notice that that point does not land on that line, so I can eliminate answer choice D, leaving me with answer choice C. Number 4, which equation matches the graph? All right, so we just kind of reviewed y equals mx plus b, so we know that we have to begin somewhere, and we said that that was at our b, and we said that the b is the y-intercept that lands on the y-axis. So we know that our vertical axis is our y, so if I start at the origin, I go up 1, 2, and 3. So I know that if I were to create that equation, y equals mx, all right, that's a plus 3 because we go up 3. So if I'm taking a look at my answer choices here, I notice that in B, that's a minus 3. In C, it also says minus 3 as well. All right, so if I'm taking a look, if I'm using my multiple choice testing strategies here, I notice that the difference between answer choice A and answer choice B is that A is a negative slope and D would be a positive slope. So if I remember Slope Dude, okay, we talked a little bit about him. Puff, puff, positive, nice, negative. Well, I notice that this does represent a negative slope, so I actually am left with answer choice A because that's negative. D would represent that positive slope. But if we do want to take a look at this, we would just, to confirm that it is in fact negative 1/2, we would start at our y-intercept, and I want to find that next point of intersection. So I would go down 1, so there's that negative. I would go to the right 2, which is positive, so I'm still left with that negative 1/2, leaving me with answer choice A. Number 5, which rule best describes the relationship presented in the table below. All right, this is another Desmos question. So what I'm going to do is I am going to plug my x of 2. So we know that whenever we plug these functions into Desmos, when I plug 2 in, my answer has to equal 1. So let's take a look at answer choice A, and let's plug that function in, and that's 3x. Notice that when I type in 3x, my answer equals 6. Okay? But when we plug 2 in, the answer should equal 1. So I can eliminate answer choice A. So for answer choice B, I'm just going to take that 3x and subtract 2. Well, when I do that, it says my answer is 4. But again, remember, when we plug 2 in, our answer has to equal 1. So I can eliminate answer choice B. For C, 2x minus 3. When I plug 2 in, I do get 1. That's awesome. Let's just quickly go and check answer choice D, which we would just delete the negative 3, add plus 2. And notice that when I do that, I get a 6, which does not match what I have here. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to go back to answer choice C, minus 3, and I'm just going to quickly check them all. So when I plug in 3, my answer should be 3 down here, which it does, so that's awesome. When x equals 4, it should equal 5. Awesome. When it equals x is 5, it should equal 7. Confirm that. When x equals 6, our answer is 9, so we can confidently say that answer choice C is our answer.